Good morning, friends, or good afternoon, whenever this video reaches you. Today we're going to read a interesting kind of book. So, Jackie Robinson is a real person, so right away we would think maybe this is nonfiction. So the facts that are presented are real, but the author has taken some creative liberties and drawn him as a comic with a few funny parts mixed in. But the goal for this book is still for the author to inform and tell you about Jackie Robinson. And the title is I Am Jackie Robinson. I am Jackie Robinson's. Okay, so right away I can see that he is a baseball player. His number is 42. He's got a hat. And it looks like he's hitting the ball, so he probably is a good player. Sometimes it's hard to be brave. My mother was brave. She liked brave people. When I was born, the youngest of 5 kids, she even named me after someone brave. His name will be Roosevelt, Jack Roosevelt Robinson. Why Roosevelt? After Teddy Roosevelt. He fought to make sure black people were treated the same as everyone else. That's a lot for little Jackie to live up to. You'll see, I'm not worried. But having a brave name doesn't make you a brave person. In fact, as a kid, I didn't like sleeping alone. I used to sleep in my mom's bed. Even when she tried to bribe me, I wouldn't leave. Jackie, I'll give you a quarter if you go sleep in your room. Not a chance. It's better here. He looks so scared. This looks like she's saying some really nasty, mean things. One of the scariest moments came when I was 8 years old. I was outside and a girl from across the street called me a terrible name. This still happens today. It's really sad. I was so mad I yelled a name right back at her. See how when we're mean to other people, that meanness doesn't just stay there. It spreads. They become mean back. All of that fighting back and forth. You should always treat people with respect and kindness. Her father came running immediately. He didn't like it that a black boy was standing up to his white daughter. We were the only black family on our block. What'd you call her? She started it. I don't remember who threw the first rock, but the fight was on. Me versus her dad. I had a good arm, but no one wins in a rock fight. Eventually, the girl's mother came out and broke it up. Like I said, the world can be a very scary place. Even as a kid, there was one thing that always made me happy. I wonder what it is. Sports and winning at sports. Okay, that's 2 things. I loved playing everything. Baseball, football, basketball, soccer, marbles, even dodgeball. All of the kids would get in a circle, white, black, Hispanic, Asian. We all played together. The rules were simple. If a ball hit you, you were out. I duck, jump, leap, and throw, of course. And throw, and throw. By the time I was done, I'd be the last one standing. Are they mad that I won? I don't know. Fall down. Maybe they won't notice. But the truth was, they weren't mad at me for winning. They appreciated the skill it took. Those childhood games were the only times I wasn't judged by the color of my skin. Hooray, Jackie! How's he do it? And what's that B on his hat stand for? You'll see. So just remember, if you're good at something, don't hide it. You should be proud of yourself. No, don't be a braggart, but still, you should be proud when you do something well. And keep working on it. Still, that didn't make all of my problems go away. At the local public pool in Brookside Park, you could only go swimming if you were white. Wow, that's not fair. If your skin was black, they locked you out. Don't they know how hot it is out here? Trust me, they know. Okay, so in the past, this is true. They used to separate people by the color of their skin, which is really sad. We don't do that anymore because thankfully, most people have learned that we should treat each other with respect, kindness, and fairly, equally, as much as we can. So that's why it's really important that we learn from the history and past, because sadly, there's still people that do stuff like this, that judge people just based on the way they look. We should judge people by their actions and not how they look. When people complained, they gave us one day each week, Wednesday. Every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m., they'd open the pool to anybody, Black, Mexican, or Asian. Don't they know how mean that is? Trust me, they know. Oh, come on. He even swims in his hat. Maybe the B is for buoyant. Buoyant means float. Oh. So how do you win when you feel like you're fighting the entire world? My mother, who worked as a maid, showed me the answer. Back then, we were so poor, we sometimes ate only 2 meals a day. To help us out every Saturday night, the local bakery would let us take their leftovers, and the milkman, back when milk was delivered to your house, would give us whatever extra he had. Look at this feast! Look at all the food! It's not just for us. What do you mean? We weren't the only ones struggling for money. My mom took the extra food and shared it with all our neighbors. That's right. She even shared it with the angry guy who threw rocks at me. Would you like some extra bread? Wow, thanks. That's very kind of you. I'm Mally, Jackie's mom. Nice to meet you, Mally. Wow, Jackie's mom is a really impressive person. It takes a lot to be able to forgive someone and to help people that have hurt us. So I'm really impressed with her. I don't know if everyone could say that they would do the same thing. It's a really hard thing to do. That's how we got to be friends with everyone in the neighborhood. It was one of my mom's best lessons. When you do something good, it brings out the good in others. Remember how we talked about how when we're mean, meanness comes back. When we're good, goodness finds a way to come back to us. Plus, the more our neighbors got to know us, the more they realized just how black and white people are really alike. I learned a similar lesson from a local mechanic named Carl Anderson. He saw a group of boys I used to hang out with. We called ourselves the Pepper Street Gang. We were a bunch of poor kids. For fun, we threw dirt clods at cars and swiped golf balls from the local course. Okay, so this is kind of important because sometimes people think like if someone does something bad, they're bad forever. But especially when you're young, you can change the course of things. You don't have to always act up or if you're mean, you can apologize and become better for it. Let's see what happens. When he saw what we were doing, Mr. Anderson took me aside. He didn't lose his temper. Calm as he could be, he told me, Jackie, I know why you're following the crowd. You're afraid they'll think you're different or chicken. But it doesn't take guts to follow a crowd. Courage comes from being willing to be different. What Mr. Anderson said that day got to me. With the help of my pastor, I stopped hanging out with the gang. From there, I threw myself even deeper into my favorite activity, sports, and winning at sports, especially baseball. As a teenager, I could run so fast. A local reporter noticed that in nearly every game I stole second, third, and home at least once. That isn't stealing, it's grand larceny. Man, this guy can write. You were just on first base. How'd you get so fast? Maybe B is for blast off. So when you steal a base in baseball, it's not like you're picking up the base and carrying it. I don't know if you noticed. It means that you run to the next base even though no one has hit. So you're kind of like jumping ahead to the next base. Now, if they throw the ball and catch you and tag you, you're out. But Jackie was super fast. He was able to go from one base to the other and not get tagged out. So that's allowed in the game. It's called stealing bases. In college, I became the first UCLA student ever to letter in 4 sports in the same season: baseball, and football, and basketball, and track. They said I was one of the best football players in the country. 2 seasons in a row, I scored the most points of any player in the league. I won the NCAA title that year. Only one American jumped farther than me. Wow, Jackie seems like he's good at everything. But you know how? Remember, he practiced a lot. So if you want to be really great at things, you got to practice and work really hard, even when things are hard. But the same problems kept coming back. When the college newspaper wrote a nice article about me, one of my own white teammates purposely smashed my leg, trying to injure me. He was mad the article said something nice about a black person. Ah! My leg! Don't they know we're on the same team? Trust me, they know. Sometimes people do things that are mean, and they know that they're mean, so it's really upsetting. But one thing about Jackie, he never gives up. That's called perseverance. So even when mean people, are trying to stop you, don't let them stop you. You keep trying. Never give up. By the time I got out of the Army, it still didn't matter that I was one of the best athletes in the country. If you wanted to play professional sports, you had to be white. Sorry, son. Your kind doesn't belong here. Wow, that is so mean. Back then, if you were the world champs, it meant you were the white champs. In all of Major League Baseball, not a single team had even one black player. Oh, did I mention that if you were on the black team, the pay was worse, the food was worse, and sometimes the only place to sleep was on the bus? Gross. Is this food good? Ooh, you don't want to know. But that was all about to change. Thanks to a man named Branch Rickey. Rickey was the president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, one of the most popular baseball teams ever. I have an idea. The Dodgers will secretly look at black players. Are you nuts? People will stop rooting for us. I don't care. It's time to do what's right. With so many players fighting in World War II, Rickey had a plan for filling his team after searching all across the United States and the world. Branch Rickey found me. I'm Jackie Robinson. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. I think you can play in the major leagues. How do you feel about that? Mr. Rickey told me that he knew I was a good ball player, but he wanted to know whether or not I had the guts. He warned me that many white people would be mad to see a black player. There's no one on our side, no owners, no umpires. Loads of players and spectators will yell at you. Pitchers will throw baseballs at your head. But no matter what they do, if you get angry, it'll look like you can't handle it. Can you handle it? On April 18, 1946, at 27 years old, I was given my shot. At Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, New Jersey, I played my first official game for the Montreal Royals, the Brooklyn Dodgers farm team. Thousands of black spectators came to see what I could do. Thousands of white people were there too, convinced that a black player couldn't possibly be as good as a white one. It was up to me to prove them wrong. You better believe I was terrified. I didn't want to let people down. Then at 3:04 p.m., it was in my first at bat, I was thrown out at first. You're out. The next time I came up was in the third inning. There were two men on base. The pitcher decided on a fastball. I can see it coming, chest high, down the middle, but this time, crack! When the ball landed 340 feet away in the left field stands, no one could say that a black man can't play as well as a white man. Some called it a home run. Others called it history. This is super important. It's important for people to see that, you don't give up and that you can be as good and better than anyone just based on your talent, not based on how you look. That afternoon, in 5 at-bats, I hit and got on base 4 times. I stole second twice, and I scored 4 runs. Hooray, Jackie! How's he do it? When he puts that B hat back on, it's gonna be for boom. When the game was done, I couldn't get to the locker room because I was so mobbed by fans. Black, white, young, old, even the folks rooting for the other team. They were cheering for me. Still, that didn't mean it was easy. When I started playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers, lots of people didn't want me there. Pitchers threw fastballs at my head. Runners stepped on me with their cleats. Ouch, look, those are so spiky. That would hurt. Catchers even spit on my shoes. I know you saw that. And they weren't just coming after me. They told me that if I kept playing, they'd hurt my son. Was I mad? Yes. Was I scared? Yes. I can't imagine how scary that would be. Just because you want to do something that you're really good at, people are going to threaten to hurt your family? Jackie is so brave. It is really hard sometimes to do the right thing. It means standing up to people that are really mean, like this guy. These people are willing to hurt people, and he didn't give up. He still kept going. That's really hard and very brave. But I never let it stop me. Game after game, I kept playing, knowing I wasn't just playing for myself. Each time, more and more people, black and white, were cheering. In the stands, fans wore, "I'm for Jackie" buttons. Slowly, eventually, we were all playing together. It says, crack. I told you, the B is for boom. No, the B is for Brooklyn, genius. Black, white, Hispanic, baseball opened up to everyone. Through the simple game of baseball, the country saw a new possibility, a new option. All they needed was for someone to go first. You see his stats? Stole home 19 times. Was National League MVP in 1949 when he led in hitting and steals. The Dodgers won 6 pennants in his 10 seasons. He was one of the few people inducted into the Hall of Fame in the very first year he was eligible. In life, people tried to scare me. They wanted to stop me. They wanted me to go away. Why? Because I was different. Each time, I wanted to fight back. But for real change to come, you need to lead by example. That means you act the way that you want people to treat you. Being a leader takes bravery. Remember this, no one is born brave. No matter how big or small you are, there will always be things that scare you. It's okay to be afraid. Just don't let it stop you. Remember that park where they wouldn't let him swim? Now it is called Robinson Park, after Jackie Robinson. Today, no one in baseball can wear the number 42, but once every year, every player on the team wears it. It's the one day when everyone looks the same. There is a real power in each and every one of us. Use that power to do what's right. Use that power for a cause you believe in. And most of all, use that power to lead and help others. So even when you're not in trouble, if you see someone doing the wrong thing, you should stand up for what is right, because that is how you use your power to help others. You know, instead of Brooklyn, you could have told people the B was for brave, just like my middle name. I am Jackie Robinson. I will always lead the way, and I hope you will too. When others see your example, they'll stand with you. It's the only way the world ever gets changed. Together. This is real pictures of the real Jackie Robinson. So in January 31st, 1919, he was born in Cairo, Georgia, just like where we live. In 1942, he was drafted into the U.S. Army. In 1945, he played for the Negro Baseball League team in Kansas City Monarchs. In 1946, he married Rachel Isers. I'm sorry, I can't read that part. In April 15th, 1967, it was the first game with the Major League team, the Brooklyn Dodgers. In 1947, he won the first MLB Rookie of the Year. In 1949, he was named the National League's most valuable player. Wow. In 1962, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. In October 24th, 1972, he died in Stratford, Connecticut. Aww. And in April 15th, 2004, he was the first annual MLB It was the first annual MLB Jackie Robinson Day. That's the day when everyone wears the number 42. Okay, so his quote is, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on others," by Jackie Robinson. This is the real Branch Rickey. This is Jackie playing college football. This is Jackie at college doing track and field events. Here's Jackie, age 6. He's the second from the left. Okay, so left. Wait, I guess this one's him, with his mother and siblings. Okay, so that's the end of our story time today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like learning things. That's what nonfiction books do. They teach us things. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again soon, I hope.